guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to kind of make a video about what it's like to work at a makeup counter, more specifically the interview process for a makeup counter. So, how to get the job, what are the first steps, what do you need to do to kind of prepare yourself, and just kind of things like that. Things that are important to getting the job. So I'm excited to talk about this video with you guys. I worked at a Lancôme counter for 3 months, I want to say. Yeah, 3 months. Which sounds like not very long, which it wasn't. But I had started the job, and then my husband was in the Navy, and we ended up having to move. So I only worked there for a little bit. But I can definitely tell you guys kind of what my experience was like there, which I hope to make in like a part 2 video. But this video is more about like how to actually get the job and what you... That's my phone. Anyways, so in this video I kind of want to talk to you more about like how to actually get the job, what you need to do, what you need to prepare, and all that good fun stuff that's important. So of course you need to start by having a good resume. Any experience helps, but your first interview is going to be with the actual like department store. So you are gonna, I worked at a Herberger's, but there's like Dillard's, Macy's, and all those types of things, all those types of department stores anyways. So wherever you're working, make sure you know a little bit about the store as well as the company you're going to work for, because for your first interview is going to be the actual store. So you want to go ahead and apply with the department store for a cosmetic job there, and then if they like your resume, they will go ahead and call you in for an interview like any other job. You apply for the job. I was at Herberger's, and so I first did a job, or I did an interview. Sorry, my dogs are distracting me. So you apply for the job like you would any normal job, and you just put on your resume that you want to work for that company. That's the job I applied for. They might ask you questions about like kind of any previous experience you have, or like why you want to work for that job. And then I remember I got a call back for that job from the store, and one of the managers there. And then I went in for an interview, and kind of during the interview process, one of the main things that you kind of have to do is dress the part, first of all. So make sure you're wearing something that's all black if your counter's all black. Most counters are. I don't really know of anyone that's not all black, but wear all black. Something classy that fits well, it's not too tight, nothing inappropriate, nothing where your cleavage is showing or anything like that, like something very appropriate. So kind of like what I have on, I have like a little bit of a jumper, it's kind of hard to see. I have like a jumper, whoop whoop, and so like that's something that I used to wear. This is actually super comfortable, so you can still like dress nice, and still be comfy. So find something that's classy and sophisticated, but at the same time you could work in all day. And something that's appropriate for your interview. I can't even talk today. I don't know what's wrong with me. So you dress the part, and then also make sure your hair is done nice. You're not... my dogs. Okay. Anyways, sorry about that. That was my dogs. Make sure your hair is done nice, make sure it's styled, it's not greasy, like basic hygiene stuff that we learned, in elementary school. Make sure that, it's either straightened or curl or just something where it just looks nice, and you just basically want to give the appearance, even though you're working at just a department store, you're still working for a counter where you have to deal with people more individually, and you're working for actually 2 different companies. So you need to make sure that you really do look the part. The other thing is that you want to wear the makeup, the style that your counter, what am I trying to say? The style that your counter has. So like if you're working for MAC, you want to do something, which is kind of a different subject because I guess MAC has their own individual stores. But if you're going for MAC, go for something that's more bold and really smoky eye. Like show off your talent when you go in. For Lancôme, they want more of like a sophisticated French, like simplistic look, but it's still beautiful. So make sure that you you know, wear the look that your company is kind of advertising and what they want you to look like. And also when you go to your interview, be prepared to answer more than just like questions about the store. Be prepared to answer questions about the makeup itself, the skincare. Like, you really need to know a lot about the company before you go in. And so like when I went in, I remember they asked me a question about like, so let's say you did, let's say this girl came in and she was looking for a foundation recommendation. Like, what would you tell her? And I think I said something like, because they asked like, oh, what would you tell for us? Like, what foundation would you recommend for us from that company, from that brand? And I think I said something like, oh, you look like you have a more, you know, warm skin tone or a cool skin tone. So this is the foundation I recommend. But the best thing that you can say in that situation is to say, you know, ask the customer, what are you looking for? Do you have oily skin? Do you have dry skin? Like, what type is your skin? What coverage are you looking for? What are you hoping to gain from your foundation? So these are all like important questions, and they're going to be, you know, things that the interviewer is going to want to hear from you, because they want to know that you are paying attention to the customer, and that's what the customer is going to want to hear as well. So questions like that, you want to make sure that if the interview asks you questions like that, you say, you know, oh, I'd ask the customer first, what are they looking for? Other than that, the actual like department store interview is kind of more like basic interview questions, like, you know, how would you handle certain customers? Do you have any experience? That type of thing. But then if you get approved, like if they like you and they want you to work for the company, you will later get a interview with the company that you're actually working for over the phone usually. So I think my first interview was like a series of questions for like half an hour, I want to say. Yeah, it was about like half an hour, and it was just like question after question after question, like, what do you think about, you know, like, what would you do in this situation? How would you handle this? Can you tell me about this product? What's your favorite product? Like, it was a person talking to you, but they were asking you like a lot of questions, and they didn't respond at all. They would just ask you a question, you give your answer, try to make it brief, don't try to make it too long, because there's a lot of questions you have to go through. And so they'll ask you, I can't remember exactly all the questions. I know if you go online and kind of look up the questions, it'll give you a list of all the questions, and you can kind of look there and kind of prepare yourself. Just look up like either a Clinique phone interview or Lancôme phone interview, and it'll kind of tell you, look up things like that. Sorry, if you hear callers, that's my dogs. They're moving around being crazy. So you'll kind of go through that, and then I know they like score your answers. I don't really know exactly how they do that, but they score your answers somehow. And then when they do that, if you kind of get past that interview, they'll do another interview with you. And this will be like the more personalized interview where a person will be talking to you and they'll be asking you questions like, it's just more of like a conversation, like back and forth. And, you know, oh, how do you feel about this? And, you know, like, they will ask you about the products. So make sure that you know your products very well. I read a lot of research for the products before I went in, so know their skincare, their makeup. She's probably going to ask you, he or she is probably going to ask you, what's your favorite product? Why do you like this product? What would you recommend for someone that has oily skin? What would you recommend for someone that has dry skin? And so you kind of have to know those things, and that kind of brings me to another point that I think working at a makeup counter can seem like really glamorous, and you're like, oh, I really want to do this, and I don't want this to come off like, but you know what you're doing, like anything like that. I'm just trying to say that if you really like are still working at your makeup skills and you're not comfortable doing makeup on other people, and you're not comfortable talking to other people about their makeup and their skincare, and just generally actually like approaching people, like you have to go and approach people. Like I would be at the counter, and if I was having a slow day, I'd have to go out in the store and say, hey, like, this is what our counter is doing today, come on over, I'll give you a makeover. Like, you really do have to know what you're doing, even though like you don't have to have a cosmetology degree or anything for it. or cosmetology license, but you still need to know what you're doing, because otherwise you're not going to be able to sell the products and you're not really going to know what you're talking about. So people are going to come up to you and they're going to, you know, want to know about certain, like, you know, how do I put on foundation? Like, how do I make my makeup look good? And if you don't know yourself, like, how are you going to tell them what to do? Because it's different putting makeup on yourself versus putting makeup on other people. So I would say practice on whoever will let you practice, like friends, family, your mom. Like, just practice. Like, seriously, be comfortable with putting makeup on other people, because it is nerve-wracking, like, not knowing someone and then putting makeup on them. It's like, you know, because you have to get in their face and stuff, and it can be kind of nerve-wracking for sure. So make sure that you're comfortable with that area. Sorry, I went off on a little tangent for a second, but back to the actual, like, interview process. So I got a call a few days later, I believe, and the girl had said that I had done all my interview, like, I was good and that I got on the job, and I was really excited. And then the Herbergers messaged or emailed me and gave me, like, the actual official, like, job offer, and I accepted. And then I got to do this really cool thing that I actually didn't even, like, know about, that would happen through Lancôme. I don't know if they do it for other companies. I really don't think they do. I'm sure at some point everyone will start doing it because it's, like, a really big thing and it makes people want to come to the company. But I got to go to San Francisco for 3 days, and that was really cool. So I will show you kind of some of the books that I got from that. So this is my École Lancôme book, and then my other Lancôme book. So these books I got from our school. The school is called École Lancôme. Oh, so that's so weird. École Lancôme. And the school is for 3 days. It'll be like, mine was in San Francisco because I lived in Montana at the time. Your school could be anywhere, like, depending on your region. Like, I know there's some in, like, Florida or DC or New York or whatever. So it just depends on where you live, because there's different regions for, like, different stores. So mine was in San Francisco, which is really cool because I've never been there before and I always wanted to go. And so we had 3 days of school in San Francisco. I feel like I repeated that like 10 times now, sorry. But we had school there, and they pay for everything, which is really cool. So they pay for your flight, they pay for your like taxi to get to the hotel, they pay for your hotel, your food. They pay for everything. So that was really cool and exciting, and it's nice because I think it gets you excited for the job, and it gets you, which is kind of like what their intention is. Like, they're trying to get you pumped up, and they're trying to get you more informative, or get you more information on the products, because they know that people coming in a lot of times don't have, like, a license or anything, or they don't have any experience working in cosmetology, like, or makeup type stuff. So it's really nice because they do give you a ton of information there, and the school was really, really informative. So they gave, like, these books that I still have. They gave me tips on, like, you have, like, a demo, which is, like, you do half the face, and then you tell your client to, like, you show them how to do the face, and they hold up a mirror, and then the client does the other half. And even though I'm talking about Lancôme, this type of stuff can apply to, like, every different brand, because, like, they all have their certain things that you're supposed to do, like, your certain ways of how you teach makeup and stuff. And but the other thing that I want to talk about that we did learn in the seminar, or the school, I guess it's a school, it's not really a seminar, but that we did learn is the thing that you need to learn about, like, your own company is, what is the look of that company? So for Lancôme, like, obviously I knew they did makeup, like, obviously, but, you know, and I knew it was more, like, chic and everything, but I wasn't sure what the right words were to describe the company. So, like, for example, working for MAC, you're gonna want to say, like, oh, bold, bright, colorful, you know, just, like, things that really describe the MAC look, because there are different looks for every brand. For the Lancôme look, it's, you know, you think of Paris. It's the only brand that really talks about like Paris, and it's like bonjour baby, like it's we actually were supposed to say bonjour, welcome to Lancôme when people came up to the counter, which I didn't do because I felt kind of weird saying it, but we were supposed to do it. No one that worked at the counter ever really did it, but I guess at some of the bigger stores they might, I don't know. But like, and this did pop up in my interview too, and at the time I kind of know what to say. I was like, oh, it's chic, you know, like that's all I really knew. But things, especially like for Lancôme, things you should think of are like, you know, elegant and sophisticated and effortlessly beautiful, you know, French chic, you know, that type of things. Like, and your makeup should look like it's like you're not trying too hard. Like your makeup should look like, yeah, you can tell you have makeup on, but it's like, it kind of is more natural, but it still is like beautiful, and you could wear it, you could dress it up, dress it down. And in the seminar school, I keep saying seminar, it's a school. In the school, they will show you how to do that with all the different looks. And I kind of want to make another video kind of more about like the actual job of Lancôme and maybe a little bit more about the school. But that's just kind of like the interview process and kind of, you know, what it's like. So I'll kind of show you too. I kind of have like makeup. I actually have makeup on from Lancôme today, except for like a couple products. Like I have lip gloss on from someone else and mascara and different. But my makeup look is basically what I would have worn when I worked at Lancôme. So, like I said, that's kind of like the makeup. It should be effortlessly chic. That's like the big words that I would use to kind of describe Lancôme, is effortlessly chic, elegant, sophisticated, those types of words. And the other thing that I want to mention too is when you go in for your interview or when you work at the counter, if you get the job, don't wear tons of jewelry. They want you to wear, I know the rule is like one ring, except with the exception of like wedding rings and stuff, but like one ring per hand, one bracelet per wrist. Like these earrings would have been okay, but something gaudy and like, you know, really crazy wouldn't have been okay. And they also want your hair to showcase your makeup. So I have short hair, so it was okay for me to wear my hair down, but if you have like really curly, crazy hair, put it back, put it in a bun, do something, because they want your makeup to be the center of attention. And just make sure what you're wearing is appropriate. It's black. They have a lot of different rules, and if you go to the school, they'll teach you all about it, which I know now. I don't know if they're still doing it. I'm pretty sure they are. I'm pretty sure they're still doing the École Lancôme school, and they'll teach you how to pronounce everything, because there's a lot of hard shit to say. Like, it's pretty hard. Like, at first I was like, I don't know how to say any of this, but they will show you how to say everything and what the products are, like when to use what and all that. So yeah, don't stress it. The biggest thing I can say is do not stress too much. Like, stress knowing the products. That's the only thing I can say, is stress knowing like what, you know, what you should do for makeup, and they will teach you more about it, but have like a basic understanding of what that brand represents and like what kind of makeup you're supposed to wear and all that. So, and you know, like favorite products and things like that. So those are like the biggest things that I can say. Otherwise, like in your interview, the best thing you can do is don't be shy. Don't be like overly crazy, and like, you know, if you have a big personality, that's great. Like, they want you to have a personality, but you know, be professional at the same time. Like, have personality but be professional. And don't be too shy. Just be very friendly. That's the biggest thing I can say. And when you work at the counter, that will go a long way. Is being professional, having personality still, but being friendly. But yeah, that's gonna take like a whole nother video doing talking about the counter, because that's gonna be a really long thing. So I do want to make like a part 2 to this video about actually working at the counter, a little bit more about school and all that. But it just kind of talks, this video is supposed to kind of talk about like the initial process and what it's like, and how to prepare for it. So I hope that helps me, you guys. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments down below and I will answer them. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed watching this. You want to see more videos from me. I really appreciate it. I just started my channel, it's still growing, just started, you know, kind of inching along. So yeah, I really hope to hear more from you guys, and feel free to interact with me. I would love to talk to you about my experience and just some more tips that I can give you guys. So thanks guys, have a great day, bye. Thanks. It's my dog. Right back. Ooh, some guy just walked past my window. That was really creepy. Anyways, looking for... Shush! Oh my god. Okay. The questions. Sorry, I'm just myself. When they do that, close. And then